Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a middle of the month of June tarot oracle reading, and Libra, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Libra, we all have a little bit of Libra in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which sign is Libra in? That could give you an idea of how this energy shows up the most for you. This is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we do have the Emperor for the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and the Emperor is representing high-level performance. He's in the major arcana. He embodies the qualities of all four kings from the minor arcana because he's gained so much life experience through his endeavors. And the Emperor is representing, come love, come on, good girl, it's okay. My cat wants to sit on my lap and her job is to purr. She does a good job. Good girl. Good job. All right. So the Emperor, she takes her job seriously. So she always shows up, or most of the time. She's a cat, so she does what she wants, like the Emperor. And so the Emperor is talking about high-level performance. This is someone that a lot of people respect and look up to, quite often an authority figure. As I said, he embodies the qualities of all four kings and from the minor arcana. This is the energy for the overall reading. So this is talking about, this is a highly alpha male energy. So, you know, he always wears his armor underneath his robe. So he's ready for any opportunity. And if he has to fight, he will, but he prefers not to. He doesn't have to fight very often because most beta males figure it out pretty quick that he'll clean their clock. And here he is. Here there's the energy for your internal forces. So if you're this Emperor energy, this is one of those times where there's some outer conflict and inner conflict possibly that is causing you to have to take a risk and go to battle here. This energy actually represents cutthroat energy. And this energy, you know, we have two people here who have laid down their swords. They're defeated. And this individual is saying, you know, any more takers? Because I will take you on. This is willing to, like, this is cutthroat energy, you know, risking everything. Like, I will risk everything to fight for what this is. And he also, sometimes this card can represent inner conflict. Of course, if you have outer conflict, it's going to cause inner conflict. But then inner conflict also attracts more outer conflict. And so sometimes this is representing, and because this is your internal, this is the card for your internal forces, I feel that you have some inner conflict that, like there's a battle within as well as the battle without. And so this can represent three versions of yourself. And, you know, the swords in tarot represent the element of air. And they're talking about your thoughts. So the swords are your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind, as well as your logic and intuition. So they're double-edged swords. This is talking about three different versions of yourself sometimes. This is talking about your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is formed by the time you're about 6 years of age, you know, before kindergarten. And this this energy is you know, when you think about a baby, how much they have to learn in the first year of their life. This is about absorbing your environment and the values and culture and religion. All of those energies are heavily imprinted on you when you're a baby. And, you know, so when you think about it, if you try and remember what happened to you when you were a baby, you probably don't remember much. And you might remember some, you know, of when you're a toddler, etc. But generally, we don't have, we have to rely on the thoughts of the people who were in charge of our care to tell us what we were like and, and then, but all of that information is heavily imprinted on us, and we carry it well into adulthood. And when we tend to get into situations where there's a lot of emotion, we can end up really relying on that subconscious mind pops up first, and it's not always the most reliable. We have your unconscious mind as well. So your unconscious mind is more from the spiritual side. So if you think of your unconscious mind, you think of yourself as a human being with a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you're a soul traveling in a human body. So if your soul's needs are not being met, then it can be arguing with your subconscious and your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is, hey, I just cleaned these two guys' clock. I can tell you all about it. I have good memory of what happened here and what was said and what was not said. So this energy is talking about the conscious, unconscious, and subconscious mind coming together and working together. This is when you have control of your mind, and you can discipline your mind through meditation and prayer, making your mind be quiet so that you can control. You should be controlling your mind. It shouldn't be controlling you. So the internal forces, when you have that discipline of the mind, you're more likely to be able to respond to information or to the external forces and internal forces rather than reacting to them. It's always better to respond than react. And the energy is talking also about, the internal forces are the what ifs, like what if I do this and then they do that, and what if I don't win this fight, then what's going to happen? It's the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life, and they can keep you in a thinking loop, and keep you stuck. So this is really good energy for the internal forces to be able to have that discipline. And because we have a tower coming in here. So the tower is talking about a reality check, basically. When the tower hits, it's an indication that you weren't listening to your intuition. And it's talking about, at first the universe will whisper to us and say, hey, you might want to take a look at that. And then it gets louder if we don't listen, or we don't do anything about it. So then the intuition, all of a sudden we'll get the frying pan treatment, the whack over the head, and you're like, ouch, that hurt. The universe says, hey, it's going to hurt way more if you don't pay attention. You need to take care of this. But you still don't. So then the 2x4 comes out, and then eventually lightning hits your tower. And now there's 2 people falling out of the castle, and it's on fire, and so it's going to have to be rebuilt. And so sometimes if you can nip things in the bud like this, when your mind, when you can discipline your mind and get to, okay, I got to do something about this, you're going to be better off. Towers are always uncomfortable for everybody. Like it's like a big kaboom. It usually happens out of nowhere. You think about Murphy's Law, it's kind of like that energy. And it's just all of a sudden, but it's not all of a sudden. It seems like it's all of a sudden because you haven't been listening. So this is talking about how you feel right now, that you've just been, so I feel like this reading is talking about you feel like you're in the middle of a tower. Now this could be of your making or other people's making or both. But in general, when the tower hits, it's a reality check that is needed. And, a year from now or something, you might be saying it was the best thing that happened. But when you're in them, they're very uncomfortable, regardless of, the outcome. And then we have this energy of the High Priestess. And yeah, this is saying you need to be able to use your intuition as well as your logic, so that you can come to creative solutions. She's very well known for using her intuition in a very strong way. She's highly intuitive. She is sitting in between these 2 pillars, and they're 2 total opposites. So they're extremes, and she has to get neutral to each side so that she can make strong choices about all the information that's coming in. In this day and age, we have so much information coming in so quick that it can be overwhelming. And the best way is like you have to get neutral to it, like not be emotionally invested and overthinking. You have to just get, okay, I'm going to feel for which is the best answer, ask the question logically, feel for the answer, and then take logic steps of action with that answer. And she is in between two major extremes, because this pillar represents Jesus and this the devil. And so she is sitting, by God's side, and she is known for being like this, in a joyful state, because she's very good at this. And so this is talking about your abundance. So it's saying that you need to use your intuition to have more abundance in your life. And then we have this energy of temperance. So temperance is talking about being patient on your journey. And sometimes it's not that easy to be patient. You may have noticed that. This energy can be talking about, coming up like with this tower and using your intuition. There's a lot for you to work through, I feel. And so this temperance energy is having the patience to do so, and maybe having the patience for the shift to start happening from after this has occurred. The temperance card, quite often, a lot of people feels that this represents the earth angel energy. And, in the Bible, it says that God sends 144,000 angels to earth to make it a more beautiful place, more fair. And so this angel is adding her own alchemy, and then she's pouring that into the water, and then she has her right foot forward. So this is the universal waters adding her own and special, unique qualities, and then she has her left foot grounded on earth. And you notice where her foot is on the ground here, she's actually growing beautiful flowers here. And then we have the sun here, and the sun is representing the energy of the God's energy and the path of glory. So this is saying you need to have patience to be able to stay on your path of glory. It sometimes can be very challenging. And this is in ever since you were a child. So this is talking about having this knowing, how some children are more wise. A lot of people will refer to that energy as wise old souls. They seem wise for their years, and that's a kind of energy I feel that this we're talking to here. And we have the hermit. So yes, after the dark night of the soul, the hermit goes up to the top of the mountains to isolate, because he wants to be away from everybody and be able to commune with God and say, okay, I need some help here. What direction should I take now? And he is, he has his lantern here, and when it fills with the light of the North Star energy, that's his North Node energy, then he's ready to come down from the mountain. His rod is golden, and it's time to come down from the mountain and take action. And this is this is your early communication, and this is your how your emotional state is now in your home life. And it also can talk about coming home into your physical body. And then we have the Page of Cups. Pages in tarot represent communication, information coming in. Pages would work for the king and queen at a young age, 7 to 14. And that may sound really young, but back in those days, the life expectancy was half of what it is now. So they worked early. And it would be a real coup to work in the palace. That would be a way better job than for a lot of people. And if they were really good at it, their main task would be to deliver communication within the palace, do small tasks, errands, and be given more responsibility as time goes by. And if they were still there when they were 21 and they could afford their own horse, they could be considered for knighthood. And so the Page of Cups, each of the pages has their own element, and this page has the element of the cups, and the cups represent love. In tarot, quite often this is romantic love, but it does not have to be. This can definitely be love of anyone or anything, and it could even be love of something you love to do or be. If this is romantic love, this is talking about, this page knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he has his eye on this fish. And so this is saying someone has their eye on you, or you have your eye on someone. And this is talking about, being very focused on that energy. The information coming in the old days, this would always be in person, because that was the only option, really. And nowadays, this could be something that arrives in the post. It could be a delivery of flowers. It could be an invitation, maybe a phone call, a text message, an email. You might be on social media, get messaged there. You might attend an event and end up running into someone and woohoo, sparks fly or whatever. So this is talking about that some sort of communication. And this is in your house of creativity, romance, and children. And then we have a soulmate energy. So this is in the energy of your daily routine, your health, and your habits, basically. And so this is saying that there's going to be some change in that area. And the soulmate energy is talking about someone that you have a contract with on the soul level. So this energy is, if it's the two people coming together, you can see that both of them are complete within themselves. What I mean by that is they're both very balanced in their masculine and feminine energies. And it's more of an agreement to empower each other to stay on their journeys and just enjoy each other's company. Quite often this can be romantic love. It doesn't have to be, though. It could be anyone. And sometimes this card can represent that. Could just, if that's not, you're not looking for someone to come in, but maybe you're looking to do something you love to do, or trying to make a decision about something. This energy can be talking that you're very balanced within your own masculine and feminine energy, and that you're in strong communication with source energy, which is shown here from the dark night of the soul, going up to isolate yourself, being in an intuitive state, being in this earth angel energy. Whatever is going on here, it could be just love of something you love to do or be, this could represent the balanced nature that you have and the strong connection you have to source energy. I refer to this as HSN. If this is two people, it would just be both these people have a strong connection to source energy. This is more of a spiritual connection, but it's physical as well, because you're meeting in the physical world. But this is also it's a very special connection with someone that you have an agreement with, that you'll hook up at some point during your lifetime. And so this energy, as I said, is in your habits, your schedules, your daily routine. So you might, it just is coming up that's going to change. And then we have, we're going to get the bottom card for the external forces coming in. Okay, being left out in the cold. So this energy is coming in from the external forces. So this can, this can represent an energy of, the feeling of being left out in the cold. Look at the energy here. There's some snow here with the hermit when he's up at the mountain, and there's snow here. This could be talking about this period of isolation when you self-isolated. The Five of Pentacles energy. Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. So this is about earthly matters and, matters of the earth. And the pentacle energy is more you could, it's shaped in the form of a coin, because of course money is a big part of your 3D world. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be, happy and living a really beautiful lifestyle. So this is more about lifestyle, and, with the understanding that, of course, you need money to function in a 3D world. And between these two people, there's only 5 pentacles. There's 10 in the tarot. So it's not a whole lot of money there. It's not enough to sustain a household. And this energy, this person's on crutches. And they also have the plague bell around their neck. In the old days, when they had pandemics, etc., they didn't have apps, so they would just force people to wear a big heavy bell. And when they came into town, they'd have to wear this so that people would know that they were coming, and they would be able to get out of their way, which would, of course, make it almost pretty nearly impossible to get work, or even do anything that you need to do in society to succeed. And This is about being isolated by other people. This person doesn't even have shoes on his feet in the snow. The snow is representing a lot of flakes coming together. So sometimes this can represent tactics from other people that because it's coming from an external force, and it's tactics that they've used to put you in isolation for whatever reason that is. Generally, it's like a gaslighting or whatever. Sometimes it can represent an energy. Some secret societies have an energy where they isolate people if they don't follow the rules of the society, the religion, the church, etc. Whatever that is, there's so many different versions of that out there. And so this can talk about that energy, or this could be talking about you self-isolating, or even when you were a child not feeling like you fit into your family. Maybe you're very different from your family members, and you just don't, you never felt like you fit in. Quite often, in that case, rejection is God's protection, so that it's challenging to be in that situation, like feeling like the black sheep. But down the road in life, you'll probably figure out, maybe even when this reality check hits, oh, it was a lucky thing I was isolated. It can sometimes be a real gift. And then we have, because we have a mental prison here. So the external forces, this reading is actually quite, it's a darker reading. Like the cards, there's not a lot of sunshine in them, and that there's a lot of real challenging energy in this reading. Like I feel like it's got a lot, there's a lot going on. And so this is talking about being in a mental prison, not being able to make a decision. And it can be regarding family members, or people that are really close to you, like even your spouse, your partners in business, commitments that you have, for family. Sometimes this can be like an energy of being caught between like aging parents and younger, children, and having to deal with that. But there's a lot of energy here. Like this person feels trapped, but there's nothing physically trapping them here, but the binding here. It's like the blindfold is representing not wanting to have to deal with the whole picture, not wanting to see it, not being able to see a way out that is going to work. This can talk about being bound up, duty bound sometimes. Like now, like you have a responsibility that you have to fulfill. And this can be talking about a lot of emotion. So I feel like at one point there was a lot of emotion, and now it's dissipated. Like the swords energy. I explained to you about how that's your thoughts. This can sometimes represent like, okay, you've gone through 7 thoughts here, and there's just this one here. And I feel like when you started, there was way more water here, which in tarot represents emotion. And now you have your right foot on dry land. So you are starting to like, okay, I've gone through these. There's way less water here, way less emotion, but her foot is still in this shallow puddle. So it's not saying your emotions are shallow, but there's way less emotion than there was when you started trying to find a solution here. And now I feel like the right foot moving forward, this one is gonna, like, you're going to do that, cut yourself free, and do what you have to do. And we have the castle in the background, which can sometimes represent having to leave your home. And it can also represent the thoughts of people behind your back while all this is happening. And this is unfortunately in your commitments, partnerships, and marriage. So something is going on for sure. And then we have rebel with a cause. The rebel with a cause is like new passion coming in. This is communication, similar to how in the ways that you can have communication coming in these days is with the page. But this represents the energy of the knight now. So this is someone who's over the age of 21 delivering a message. Someone more mature. It's a more mature energy. The page energy could represent that it's involving people that are like from your elementary school, high school, beginning work, beginning college, university, that energy. It can be talking about that's who's delivering the message, or it could be about them, or it could be about you when you were that age. It doesn't have to be. It could also be someone that you maybe haven't seen for 7 years, 14 years, or 21 years. And now we have the Knight of Wands, which would be more of a mature energy. The Knights are an older version, basically, of the pages. He has his element is fire, and fire. The wand represents that fire. Wand fuels the fire, and it's talking about taking passionate action. So I feel this information, it could be about some, like, it depends on your situation. Thing is, you do have a soulmate coming through here. Maybe this is the soulmate coming through, it could be that energy. Or if this is about you just bringing things together, you've come to a decision and you're going to make a choice, no matter, you're going to take action now, basically, is what this is saying. So the rebel with a cause has a big red plume on the back of his helmet saying that he can be impulsive, but he has learned how to rein in his emotions and discipline his mind. The horse represents heartfelt energy and passion. The horse is rearing up. It wants to go, but he's saying, no, I'm going to control this. We're going to make strong choices. The pyramids in the background represent the energy of the Knight of Wands wanting to move forward and be able to accrue knowledge, that sort of energy. The astrological influences around this, there hasn't been a whole lot coming out in this energy so far regarding that. But I feel like what's interesting is today on June 9th, Venus and Jupiter are coming together in the sign of Cancer, which is this energy here of a dark night of the soul and isolating yourself. It's kind of interesting because a lot of the astrologers are saying this is the luckiest day for love and money and in the year, and some are saying in the decade. So there could be you could be feeling like this is really you're in a hard, like, this is not fun energy. Yet we have the Emperor and we have a soulmate here. So let's keep going and see, okay, what else is going on here. We have a new cycle beginning. That's what I was feeling. Like, I'm like, okay, where's the good energy coming in? What's happening? So this is saying the Fool represents someone who's taking a leap of faith. It's like this rebel with a cause energy coming in. This could represent, I feel for sure, this energy coming in. This could represent the Emperor's energy coming in. If you're not, because the Emperor could be in this energy, but he could. This definitely could be. So, but this could represent the Emperor energy. I mean, if this is your energy, then these external forces, this is how you're dealing with them. And so, because there's a new cycle beginning here. And so this could be the Emperor coming in as a soulmate energy, or this could be your energy and there's someone else there that's coming in that we haven't seen as of yet. It's talking about a new cycle coming through, taking a leap of faith, starting off at the 0 point. You notice the Fool doesn't have much baggage, but he does have tattered sleeves. So that's saying this isn't like brand new energy where, he's taken what he's learned from this situation, which is why the Emperor is so powerful. And he's using it to benefit himself on this new journey. This transition, this is in your the energy of transition. We do have also the energy of a new moon coming up, and that's in the sign of Gemini. And the new moon in Gemini is talking about that's another energy I wanted to talk about. So yeah, the new moon in Gemini is on June 14th. And that energy, Uranus just moved into Gemini about a month ago. And Uranus wants the truth to come out in Gemini. The last time Uranus was in Gemini was in 1941 to 1949, when World War II was kind of happening and winding up. Now that's the last time that we saw the energy of Uranus in Gemini. And basically, I mean, you can go back and take a look in the last couple months at the end of April, beginning of May, and the end of May, beginning of June. There's a lot of information I've talked about this, but bottom line is that Uranus and Gemini wants the truth to come out. So there's a lot of truths coming out. And so that energy is featured quite a bit. And then the moon, so the moon is also in the sign of Gemini. It's a new moon in the sign of Gemini. And the new moon in Gemini, it's really bringing forward these opportunities to commit to your own personal needs and also to improve communication. So this energy is coming through, and we have the energy of the moon as well. And then Venus is leaving the sign of Cancer with this lucky energy. We'll be moving into Leo on the 13th. So it's it's a small time frame, but you could feel this energy coming in. And I've been saying this to people, if it's not like, oh, it's June 9th right now, but that energy, it's kind of like just an energy that's happening. And it's putting your energy into directing your energy in that way. I'm going to be very fortunate, very lucky in money and love, and just hang on to that. It doesn't have to happen today. It's probably not likely to, because they just moved in together, but it's saying that it's a lucky day. Keep your thoughts in that energy. And we have this, the Seven of Pentacles. And so the Seven of Pentacles is talking about someone, they have put a lot of time, money, and energy into something. And they're standing here and they're wondering, man, I put all this money, time, and energy into this project, this relationship, whatever this is. It's part of the lifestyle. And this is the only pentacle I got out of it. Normally this person's way more successful than this. And they're like, wow, it's a losing battle. And they're trying to decide, should I just write it off now, take my losses, and leave this project and be done with it? Or should I continue and try to tweak it a little bit? And right now, the energy, a lot of people, don't be feeling bad if you're in that energy, because a lot of people are feeling that way because of Neptune moving into the sign of Aries about a month and a half ago now. And that energy is intense because Neptune was in Pisces for 14 years and very comfortable there. And that's about idealism and how you approach life and how you make things work. And for 14 years, we were doing things one way, and you finally figure it out. Okay, if I do it this way, it always works. But now it's not. And that's because Neptune has now moved into Aries. And it's kind of like the Pisces energy is so different from the Aries energy. Pisces is the senior executive, like the most mature of all the horoscope signs. And it's a very more dreamy and forgiving energy. And the Aries energy is a newborn baby that's yelling its head off because you're not understanding what it wants, And so this is, it's very new energy. And so it's talking about having to maybe take new approaches to the way you were doing things and just tweak them a little, and then they'll start working again. So you might want to, with that information, you might be able to think, okay, well, maybe I could, do a little experiment, see if this is working. Don't do anything major, but just do smaller so that you can see a result. And, if it's working, then double up on it. And if it's not, then stop, then do something else. But it's giving it a chance, basically, energy. And we also have the Three of Pentacles energy. So yeah, this energy is talking about, you're very good at what you're doing. You're a master of what you do. People notice that. They want to collaborate with you. But this is that energy I was talking about, here, the secret society energy, signing contracts, and then finding out after that they don't fit in with your lifestyle, because this is lifestyle energy, and this is coming out right after it. So I feel there could definitely be some sort of energy around that. This energy It can be like gaslighting. And, when snow first starts falling, it's pretty. And, a flake or two, anyone can enjoy that. But when it snows for months on end, it starts getting very heavy. And especially like if it makes being out in the cold makes things way more difficult. So this is talking, I feel, about this energy. And this was the underlying energy for all the external forces coming in. It's like, feeling out of sorts, definitely. So this could be saying, though, that if you tweak this energy and maybe you can move out of this situation, whatever this is, that you might have an opportunity to shift it. There is a page coming in with pentacle energy. And so this is talking about there is definitely going to be some sort of shift, some sort of information coming in about pentacle energy. And this information, communication coming through causes a tower. So if you're on the right side of the law, this is going to be like, okay, it's going to be the relief coming in. If you're on the wrong side of the law, the people are being caught, basically. That's the energy. Do we have, this is cutthroat energy. This is like an energy where people are willing to risk everything to win. And that's the energy I feel that you're dealing with. And so this is challenging. Sometimes this energy here can represent actual physical prison. This can sometimes represent spying energy. Something's fishy in your love life. That type of energy. If it's not like someone has their eye on you in a good way, it could be someone is not being upfront about who they really are, or something like that in your love life or in something you love. Like, so this could be a business partner, and it maybe is something that you love to do and you thought this was a really good partner. And now you're finding out that it's been a nightmare dealing with this energy. So this isn't the most fun reading of them all. Like I've had, a lot of this energy is coming up because this energy is prevalent on the planet right now. And with Gemini, Gemini is going to be in this, Uranus is going to be in Gemini for the next 7.5 to 8 years. So the truth is going to come out. That's just the way it is. And the Libra energy is all about the scales of justice. And it's about being mature enough to deal with things responsibly. Like it's saying, you're mature enough now that you know right from wrong for sure. And so the scales of justice are coming in and this energy is shifting. Let's take a look with the Oracle and see if we can clarify this a little bit. For those of you who want clarification, if you're leaving this reading now, thank you for your time and energy and likes and comments. Consider subscribing if you resonate. And I'm going to clarify now with my Oracle. So we're going to get the energy from the bottom of the deck. I'm just going to give it a cut here. And let's see if we can get some good advice coming in here. So we have these cards represent my Oracle Tales from the Vector. And I started this back in 2007. In 2020, I completed all 64 paintings. I have a website, talesfromthevector.com. I have a gallery on there, and the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order they appear there. I will put them in the description box below in the order they're here if you want to take a look. They say a picture paints 1,000 words, so this may give you more information. Now here you are showing up for yourself on this soulmate energy, so that's good to see. This is definitely saying something's going on here in your daily, like whatever this is, whatever routine that you've had to deal with, it is shifting here. But we'll start with this here. So mother's worry. I feel that this is about like what's happening in the world. Like there's just a lot happening in the world right now. You may have noticed. And it's just weird energy. It's kind of different. And it's quite heavy in some ways. So the readings have been a combination of both, but with some really uplifting energy as well as the heavy. So it's been about a half and half thing. But I noticed like the first 4 readings were more upbeat, and the last one I did for Virgo was also more in this energy. And that might be something that, like, this change that is shifting in, with the new moon coming up, and Mercury's going to be going in retrograde again soon. I keep meaning to look up exactly when that's going to be. It'll probably be in the next reading. I'll talk about that. So we could be feeling that type of energy a little bit as well. There's some really different energy on the planet right now. Like every day there's some new truth coming out. But, like the truth will set you free, but it can be hard to hear sometimes. We have Empress energy matching now this Emperor energy. So that's kind of interesting, because now we have an Empress and an Emperor. Now this is representing your internal forces. So you might be in this Empress energy. Remember, with the characters, the Empress and Emperor, I mean, the female characters on cards can be female in their feminine energy, as well as male in their feminine energy. And the Emperor, for instance, could be a female or a male in their masculine energy. So this is now saying, I feel this is saying, this is like, this could be your partner. Now, whether or not it's the soulmate coming in partner, or it's the partner that you're dealing with, whatever that energy is, there's definitely a couple energy here. And it's that Tower's hitting. This is justice coming in, and there we have the scales of justice here. So it's something coming in, like boom, this is like the energy you're in when we started the reading. So justice is coming in. We have perception. So it's kind of a weird energy. It's like the grass is greener on the other side, and then you find out it's fake. But it doesn't necessarily, I'm not getting it's necessarily about like, it could be about third-party energy, but there really isn't a lot of cards about this. It's more like, I feel like it's more like partnership energy, or it's more about lifestyle and stuff like that, rather than like a romantic tryst or something like that. It's just a change in the way you are doing something you love, or the way your partner is doing something they love. Like someone may have retired, or someone may have changed jobs, and it didn't turn out the way that you expected it to. Or it could be that sort of energy, like a shift in the daily routine, because we have that sitting here. We have the Earth Star energy. It could be about love, but this quite often is, but with the cards around here, I feel like this is already sort of like a couple, and the soulmate energy could be someone coming in to, that came in, to empower you as a couple or something like that. I'm not quite sure. It could be like but it just is leaning more to this being about business than about love, because the only cup we have here is this one, and we already have a couple. So unless you've split up and you're looking for new love, that could be. So we have a Hangman. So this is talking about this being stuck in this energy for a while and trying to gain balance. Again, we have that energy there. There's pride involved. And so this is a karmic space we can fall into. And it's like when, it's an all or nothing attitude. And that's this winning at all costs, willing to risk it all. And maybe being in an energy where you regret it. Like you're like, I should have just backed off sooner. But your pride stepped in and said, no, I can handle this. And I feel like it's that kind of, there's something going on here in that energy. Now the Libra, when you represent yourself in a reading, it's talking about there's a shift in your daily routine and habits in that. And this is talking about a soulmate energy, or could be you coming together, or maybe if you're, this is a couple and you weren't able to agree on something, now you're able to agree on, okay, this is the action that we are going to take. It could have something to do with that, because we have two people feeling left out in the cold here. And then we have the High Priestess energy. Oh, wait, I wanted to take this from the bottom of the deck. So there's a lot of ego. That's what I was going to say. So I feel like this was like, no, we should do it this way. No, we should do it that way. Now that could have been between you and your marriage partner. I feel this is representing the Empress and Emperor energy. This is representing the energy of a couple. And because this is quite often about married couples, and this is talking about this this energy coming through, and there was a lot of ego involved and pride involved in this. Like it's like we can't, you know, and it's about. I feel this is about business, and so the Libra energy. This is saying there's going to be a shift here now. Like this has been challenging since this reality check came in, and I feel it's coming in about Pentacles, and it's coming in possibly about the reason why this energy is happening. This could be the Empress and Emperor's energy, feeling left out in the cold, or having been in a position where someone got left out in the cold because of something that this energy did, and now it's coming back. It's that type of energy. So it's you will know if it's your reading. Like which way this might be going for you. The High Priestess energy, this is saying life is going to get joyful again if you use your intuition again. It's saying twice here that your intuition is really important, that you need to be looking at it from not just a logical point of view, but you need to go to your heart and feel for what's the right thing to do. The rebel with a cause is representing some sort of abuse of power. So this is talking about, you know, moves that were made from external forces that caused a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy coming in here. So these are karmic spaces. A lot of people feel that karma is punishment, but karma is actually just cause and effect from your actions or inactions. So everybody's actions eventually catch up to them, just like the truth always catches up. And then we have anger. So there's a lot of anger about this. There's a transition here. There's anger about some abuse of power. And it's passed, it feels like it's something that was passed down from one generation to the next. So it could be talking about this, this energy, you know, when I said about being in this different energy, this is like temperance is about not acting out of anger, not acting out of this energy here. Temperance is having patience for it to come instead of forcing things to come. I feel like there is a lot of force being used here. And we have attachment. So the attachment is, you know, like with karma, you can have direct karma from actions that you've taken yourself, and or inactions, like when you know that actions that cause suffering to others, and inactions that cause suffering to others. Like when you know someone's suffering that's innocent and you could do something about it, but you choose not to. Especially if you're an emperor and empress, it's like talking about a power couple that has the power to make something happen and they choose not to. And then there's an indirect karma, which is like ancestors. It can be leftover energy from ancestors, and even from descendants, the action, like depending on how old you are. And so this is the same kind of energy, but it's involving ancestors, descendants. We have, you know, business associates, friends, that type of energy. And then we have karmic spaces that anyone can fall into. It's interesting, like when you showed up for yourself here in the reading, that's always good. It means you're here. That this is an accurate reading for you in you know what's going on right now. And this is, but normally when the signs come up, other than when it's the person, like the sign that I'm reading, just so you know, the horoscope signs, I'm not talking about specific people. I'm talking about the sign itself. And Libra is when you're mature, and look at, we have that Venus energy. So this Libra energy, Venus rules over Libra. And remember, we have Venus and Jupiter in the sign of Cancer today. And this is in this hangman energy, and I feel like this energy might be shifting now. If it's been stuck and you feel like nothing, like it's, no matter what we do, nothing changes, there is a change coming, and I feel the truth is coming in. We have that Gemini moon with that, all that truth energy from Uranus. The truth is coming out for sure. Whatever has happened here, justice is going to be served. And then we have Superstar. So this is talking about harmony. And this is representing the throat chakra. So this is talking about watching your words and the words of others, basically, here. So there's a lot of people talking, basically. And so, but I feel like the talk, if there's been some forced energy from people outside causing struggle to someone who's innocent, then that is, the words are going to bring that energy into a more of a harmonious state. People might be talking, this could be representing people talking about, it could be about the people that are in charge of the legal matters and that, talking about what's happened and, I'm making plans. Okay, the investigation's over and now something is going to happen, because there definitely is a transition happening, and this is hidden secrets coming out. And so whatever this is, it's, it's, justice is on the way. That's the way it is. So, as long as you're like this power couple energy, this energy is quite often that energy of authority figures that have the ability to move in and make change happen. So if that's your energy here, then maybe you're the one who's supposed to bring justice in, and this energy is being forced. This is talking about, this is like a new cycle coming in. So I can feel there's a lot of different angles to this. So you'll just have to take what works for you and just leave the rest. And remember that today is supposed to be a very lucky day in love and in money. All right. I do hope this benefited you. Please give it a like and comment if you resonate, and also consider subscribing. I would be honored. I will have another reading for you soon. Bye for now.